Henry's dad has HIV and he lives with it fantastically, by Doron Braunshtein. To all people who are living with HIV and to their children, wherever you are. Henry's father Josh had a boyfriend for many years. His name was David. Henry got to know David and loved him very much. Sometimes he even called him by mistake Dad. A few days ago, Henry's dad said to him, "David and I have separated." "For good?" asked Henry. "Yes, for good," replied Henry's father. "So you don't love him anymore?" asked Henry. Henry's dad gave him a hug, and it seemed to Henry that he saw a little tear escape from his father's eye. "I loved him, I love him, and I will always feel love for him," said Henry's dad. "So why did you split up?" Henry did not understand. "For all sorts of reasons," said Henry's father, and he did not go into more detail, but took a deep breath and said, "You know, Henry, sometimes love is not so easy." A few days later, Henry's father got sick. He had a fever, he had a flu. Henry said, "Don't worry, Dad, it will pass." And his father smiled and said, "Of course it will pass. I have no doubt about it at all." And it was true. The illness did pass away, as if it had never happened. A few days passed, and then Henry's dad had a talk with him. "Yesterday I went to see the doctor," he said. "The nice lady doctor?" Henry asked with a smile. "Yes," said Henry's father, smiling back. "The nice lady doctor, who is my doctor and also yours, Hillary." "She is really very nice," said Henry. "Yes, she is," agreed his father. "And what did she say?" Henry asked. "She told me that," his dad began saying, and then took a deep breath. "Well," continued Henry, "that you feel okay?" "In general, yes," said his father. "But she also said that my blood tests show that I have HIV." "What does that mean?" asked Henry. "HIV is an illness that is found in the blood, explained his dad. It is an illness that once, quite a long time ago, around 20 years ago, was considered to be very serious. To tell you the truth, once it was a deadly disease for which there was almost nothing to do against. And a long time ago, in the 1980s and the early 1990s of the last century, the 20th century, people died from it like, well, how can I say it, like flies. And today," asked Henry hopefully. "Today it's a completely different story." Henry's dad smiled and set Henry on his knees. "Today there are medicines. Today there is a treatment. Today HIV is considered to be a chronic illness. That means an illness where a lot can be done to keep it under control. With the medicines we have today, it is possible to live a full and completely healthy life. So yes, regarding your question about today there is a lot of hope." "And it is possible to become completely cured of this illness?" asked Henry. "As of today, not yet," answered his father. "But I am absolutely certain that in the future, not many years from now, there will be a vaccine for this illness, and it will be possible to get completely cured from it. You know how I am. Always an optimistic person." "Optimistic," said Henry, repeating the word after him. "Yes," said his father. "Now you already know the meaning of this word. I have taught you that." "That's right, Dad," said Henry. "Optimistic is a person who always sees the good side in every situation. Even when it's dark, he knows that tomorrow morning the light will come into his room, that everything will turn out well in the end, exactly as it should be." "What a smart kid I've got!" Henry's dad hugged him really tightly, and once again, Henry was sure that this time too he saw a little tear in his father's eye. "Is it an illness that is catching?" Henry asked. "It is an illness that cannot be passed from person to person, from shaking hands, from a hug, or even from a kiss," Henry's father replied. "It is an illness that can pass to another person mostly through sexual contact without using protection." "I already know what sexual contact is," said Henry. "We learned about it in class. After all, I'm a big kid now." "That's right," smiled his dad. "You are now 9 years old. A very big kid indeed." "Very big," said Henry happily. "So I can't catch it from you through a hug?" asked Henry, and then gave the biggest and strongest hug that he could to his dad. "No," said his father with a big smile on his face. "And it's impossible to catch this illness from a kiss, you said?" asked Henry, and gave his dad a giant kiss, full of love, on the right cheek and then on the left cheek. "It is also impossible," answered his father, who was so happy at the positive response from Henry to the things he had said. "And if we shake hands?" asked Henry. "Then we would absolutely not catch anything from this," said Henry's dad, who by now could no longer control himself and burst out laughing. "When you think about it," said his dad, "we are now in the year 2016, and actually, however you look at it, it's after all, well, only HIV. In a way, it's like living with diabetes, and with the correct treatment, medical follow-up, correct nutrition, a bit of sport and exercise, and, not less importantly, a lot of optimism and belief, it is possible, even with this illness, to live a long life, a wonderful life, full of health and happiness." "Daddy," said Henry, "you know I love you more than anyone and anything else in the world, and well, I need you to be around for me all my life, all the time." "I am here, Henry, with you. I am always by your side," said his father. And now, without any doubt, Henry saw a big tear appear in each of his father's eyes. "And I'm not going away, Henry. There's no way in the world that I plan to leave you." "Promise?" asked Henry. "Promise," said his dad. "I have always loved you, Henry. I always love you, and I will always feel love towards you." "Like towards David?" asked Henry. "Like towards David," answered his father, "despite everything. And this love we have," his dad continued and said, "it is a truly tremendous power, a wonderful power, a cure. This love of ours gives me strength to carry on and to live and to be healthy. And the fact that I have HIV will not hold me back from doing anything. It will not limit me at all. It will not stop me. You will see. Maybe it will even do the opposite. It will cause me to want to do things even more, to try even harder to make all my dreams come true." "Thank you, Dad," said Henry and looked directly into his father's eyes. "Thank you for who you are. You are such a good boy, Henry. You are so special," said his dad. "You truly give me so much strength." "We give strength to each other in exactly the same way," said Henry. "Yes, we do," said his father. "You are giving to me, and I am giving to you. It's exactly the same. Love has strength. Isn't that right, Dad?" asked Henry, looking at his father with hope. "Love has an enormous strength," said his father. He hugged Henry tightly with all his heart. "Love has a really tremendous strength, a wonderful strength. It is, in so many ways, like a cure."